I am here because of the project that's under construction. And I just wanted to give my opinion. And I just got out of work at 10 p.m. and I really don't know what is it that I have to say.
Decision, which is whether or not to resume negotiations. And let's start to see if anybody has any questions for staff that were brought up by the public testimony. If not, somebody can bring discussion to the floor. Councilmember Himmelrich.
I move that we don't resume negotiations with this developer. I think that it's illegal. I think that it poses great risk to the city, and I think competition can only make this project better if we go to an RFP process that will also assure us of 300 affordable units. We can also have a hotel and open space. So that's my motion.
I do not hear a second for the motion. Am I missing anybody? It does not appear, so that motion fails for lack of a second. Anybody else want to make any comment on whether to negotiate? Mayor Pro Tem Oday, followed by Councilmember Davis.
Yeah, I'm happy to move to restart negotiations with this development partner. You know, my view is that we're going to get a substantially better project by moving ahead now. And realizing tonight we are not approving a DA, we are just restarting negotiations. It's clear from the public testimony, from the staff report, and from the questions from the council members that we need to have better numbers on the housing contribution, on the partner shares, on guarantees for the housing and the other community benefits we're going to get. It's not okay, frankly, that we haven't had financials done in 5 years. You know, this coincides with the term of our former city manager turned activist on this project, and these negotiations have clearly been suppressed. So we deserve the opportunity to get a great project in place with real guarantees, build affordable housing first, guaranteed units, etc., just like we did with past projects that we all agreed to and that are currently built or under construction. And so I think it's worth continuing to work with this partner. You know, times have changed, and we've heard that in the testimony. We all know that because of the work that we've been doing. And I've heard an interest in particular in the testimony to relook at the mix of uses, activation of public space, and more. And we could do that. We could scrap everything and we could start over, or we can finish negotiations with the current developer. And yes, this is a private developer. That's what we went out and saw when we started the process, and we selected them to enter into an exclusive negotiating agreement. The only value I can see at this point in dropping this development partner instead of continuing to work on these details and that they said that they're willing to work on with us, is that we'd be stiffing them with the development costs that have been incurred to date. And, you know, that's a few $1,000,000, and though that, of course, is tempting, it's a terrible way to act as a partner. And it's opposite what I would understand our values as a community to be. And what's more, the new partner would, of course, see what we did and price that into any bids that they put forward to work with the city, and that's not good for anyone. And every other partner would do that we ever sought to work with. So yes, some priorities have shifted in our current fiscal position or worsening housing crisis, but they're willing to work on it. Let's talk about that next. Let's get started with negotiating and get down to the real details that we need in order to get comfortable with this project.
Second.
Okay, so that has been seconded by Councilmember Davis, who is next to speak, followed by Councilmember Harr.